Hey girls and welcome back to my Hey girls and welcome back to my video. Today's gonna be the first video of my new topic series, and today's first topic is gonna be about 10 signs he is just not that into you. So if you're interested in finding out those 10 signs, then keep on watching. So the first sign that he's just not into you is he takes long to reply to your text messages. Now this one, girls, is a huge red flag and a huge bad sign that he's just not into you. And a lot of us women actually kind of ignore this sign. If he doesn't reply to your message or he takes long to reply to your message, that's a huge red flag, especially if you've been communicating with him and texting him throughout the day and all of a sudden you text around, say, 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock and be like, hey babe, are you coming around? Am I going to see you today? And he takes long to respond to that message. You clearly know that he's just not into you or he just doesn't want to see you. Especially if you've been communicating with him throughout the day and he just takes very long all of a sudden. He definitely is trying to, remove away from the question you asked him, or he's just clearly just doesn't want to see you, or like the topic of this first question is he's just not into you. So it's really important to look at that first sign, because a lot of us women just completely ignore it. And when it comes to texting, there has to be consistency, and if he's just not consistent with his text messages, especially if he's texting you all day and then all of a sudden you say something to him and then he just moves a bit edgy with it, that is a big sign that he's just not into you. So keep a lookout for that. The second sign that he is just not into you is you're always the one initiating for him to see him. This one is a massive one. Now, if you right now are watching this and you're a girl and you know that you have been the person that always texts your partner and always asks to see them, and they do not in the relationship text you to see you, that is a massive red flag. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not the one that sometimes always do that, because honestly speaking, guys, it is really important if you actually deep the situation. If you are always the partner in your relationship that always asks, when am I going to see you? It's a big red flag, and it's definitely a sign that he's just not into you. It's only because if he hasn't asked you it, or he hasn't seen you in a very long time and he's not asking to see you, that means he doesn't want to see you. He doesn't really care, and he probably has some other chick with him, or just by his side and taking his full attention. You need to look at the big signs here and be like, wait, how can I not see my man for like 2-3 weeks straight and he hasn't even asked me, but I'm asking him? Like, it's an equal partnership. You both need to be asking each other, when are we going to see each other? What are we doing today? It cannot be one person. It has to be both. So if you are the one that's always asking him, when am I seeing you? And he doesn't ever ask you, then that's a big sign that he's just not into you. The third sign that he's just not into you is he never asks you any personal questions. Now, this one is actually kind of a deep one for me, because basically if I'm getting to know someone and they don't really ask me any personal questions, that just shows to me that they don't really care about me and they don't care or have the time to get to know me. And personally for me, if I'm communicating with someone or I'm getting into that dating stage or getting to know someone, I would expect them to ask questions that kind of show me that they care about my personal life and my personal stuff. And that to me really shows that they're into me. Like, if I had a full conversation with my guy or a guy that I was dating and he was just not asking me questions about me personally, I would just take it as in, like, you clearly aren't into me. You just want to be here as time goes by, and I'm not really up for that. So look out for that. If you are going on a date anytime soon, or you're talking to someone on the phone call and they're just listening to you as time goes on and they're not really asking you questions about you and getting to know you on a personal level, then they're just not into you, sis. And it's as basic as that. The fourth sign that he's just not into you is he never tries to impress you. This one is a very sticky one, because it's really important to, when you're in a relationship or whoever you're dating or whatever, to actually notice if the guy impresses you. If he never tries to impress you, like buy you flowers or does something spontaneous for you, or randomly texts you and be like, get dressed, look cute, we're going out, that to me is a huge red flag. Because personally for me, if I'm in a relationship, I need a guy that is on point with his, with his spontaneous side. Because, like, I'm not saying all the time, like obviously it is a, it's a two-way street, both of us can do it. But if it's coming from the guy and he isn't doing it at all, it's a big red flag. Because at the end of the day, that is your man and he's supposed to impress you whenever or whatever the cost is. And he's supposed to just make you feel love and happy and, show you that he is into you. And if he is not randomly, spontaneously showing you or trying to impress you, that is a big sign that he's just not into you, because he just doesn't care enough to buy you flowers, take you out, do something spontaneous. And if my partner was doing random things to impress me, then I know for a fact that he is into me. So you need to look out for that, because sometimes people always think because if a guy does it once or twice and never does it again, it's completely fine. I'm not saying he has to do it consistently, but if he's doing it occasionally, then he's into you. But if he's just doing it once or twice and then he stops it, he clearly ain't into you, sis. Number 5, if he's just not into you, he comes late and cancels at the last minute. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've actually had this. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a sticky one, and you can definitely push it under the rug just because you love that person. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, the whole cancelling in the last minute, let's just start with that. That one is just disrespectful to me, because we made a plan and then you're cancelling on the last minute. And the one thing I hate is when you cancel on the plan and you don't even bother to text or call. Now that is a huge red flag and huge sign that he's just not into you, because he didn't bother to call you or text you to let you know that he's cancelling the plan that either you made or he made or you both made. That's a huge red flag and definitely a big sign that he's just not into you. And always showing up late, that is a huge sign that he's just not into you. It's like he doesn't even care enough to come on time. If I am your woman and you are trying to impress me, or I am your wife and you always show up late, you definitely do not care about me. You don't mind me waiting hours and hours for you to arrive to whatever we're supposed to be meeting. So that to me is a huge red flag. And I'm going to keep saying that throughout this whole video. And what else is it? Oh, he's just not into you. And that is just like, it really annoys me, because that is like a huge main thing in relationships. The partner always cancels, always ends up running late. And it's okay to do that sometimes. No one's perfect. But if you can't bother to let us know, then that's going to be a problem. And some people or girls always take it as, okay, they did that, they ain't gonna do it again, and then they do it again. It's okay, they're not gonna do it again. I'll give you another chance. And they do it again, and they do it again, and they do it again. Like, no. If you do it like at least 3 times, you're just not into me. Number 6 of he's just not into you is he's distant and secretive. This one is very confusing, because it's like you don't really know if he is secretive or if he is distant, and he could just be working or busy or family problems or whatever is going on in his life. But if it's consistently and you just physically feel like you're alone in the relationship and he's completely distant and you don't hear from him, or you don't see a text from him the whole day, and you'll just hear like, you're not checking up on me, then that is a huge sign that he's just not into you, because everyone is busy in this life. Everyone. But if you have a husband or you have a wife, no, we're talking about men here. If you're having a wife and you don't text her throughout the day, or you have a girlfriend and you're not texting her throughout the day or a week or 2 days, then you're definitely not into that girl, because it's disrespectful. And everyone has problems, fair enough, and everyone has personal issues, but it comes a point where if you're doing that cool. But if you're consistently doing that, then that just shows that you're just being distant for a reason and you're just not into me. And the whole secretive is really, really a red flag, because when there starts to be secrets in the person you're dating or married to or whatever, that becomes a problem. And it 100% means that you're just definitely not into that person, because why are you hiding secrets from someone that you're supposed to be in love with or supposed to want to get to that stage with that person? And that to me is a huge red flag. But like I said, it's a bit confusing, because the person that is always doing the consistent stuff and trying to impress you, but then at the same time he's being a tiny bit secretive, it can just mean he doesn't want to open up, and you can get to that part. But if a guy is just completely distant and completely secretive for no reason, then it's a huge sign that he's just not into you, and it's better to communicate and let him know or let her know ASAP. Number 7, that he's just not into you. He keeps you a secret from the world and his friends. Now, some men like to be low-key about their personal life and their personal relationships, and that's completely fine. But when it comes to being personal, no, let me try and change that word. When it comes to being low-key, that's cool. But when it comes to being low-key and then secretive, that's when it shows me that you're just not into me, and it just hurts my feelings. I'm not some toy that you can just hide in the cupboard to everyone whenever you feel like it. If I am your wife or if I am your girlfriend, I'm supposed to be, shown to the public and shown to your friends and your family, because I am the one that you want to be with. And if you're clearly hiding me behind doors and not really showing me to anyone, especially to your friends, then that to me shows that you're just not into me, and we're definitely casual dating. So that to me is a huge red flag and a huge sign that I'm not the one for you, and clearly you're just not into me. So look out for that, guys, because sometimes in the beginning, guys do not want to show off their girls, and that's completely fine and understandable, because they really are just low-key and they don't want to put evil eye on their relationship. But if you've been dating or been together for a very long amount of time and you still haven't seen their friends and you still haven't seen their family members and you still have not come out of the closet where he's being secretive, then he is just not into you, and it's just basic as that. Number 8, that he's just not into you. He is always on his phone. Now, it's okay to always be on your phone. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're always on your phone and you're always on your phone with me, that just shows to me that you're not interested in me and you're not into me, and you clearly have something that's keeping you away from me and my attention, and that's in that phone. Girls, I'm not a crazy girl. Let's just put it out there. But if I do see a man always 24/7 on his phone when he's with me, then I definitely know he's either chatting to a girl, or he's on some porn site, or he's just looking at something that he does not want me to find out. And when it comes to the phone in a relationship, that's the biggest thing. And I always used to not really think about this in my past relationships, because it's not that I just didn't care. I just didn't think it wasn't big enough for me to care. But now that I really deep it in a relationship, if a guy's phone is like everything to him. Everything is on that phone. So if you're on a mission to catch out your man, for example, that is where you need to go. Literally, that is where you need to go. And if he's always on that phone, there's someone on there that's drawing his attention and not you. And if that's 24/7, that means he's not into you. He's probably into that person. Number 9, sign that he's just not into you. If he says he wants to keep things casual, or what they say, I'm not looking for anything right now, or let's just see where it goes. That is a huge sign that he's just not into you. Now, if you're dating a guy for a couple of weeks and he says to you, let's just see where this thing goes, or let's keep this casual, that means he doesn't want to pursue anything in the future with you. He just wants to see where it goes until it dies down a bit and we go our separate ways. That's a big sign that he is just not into you, and you should not waste any of your time, and you should just move on and chat to someone that actually does want to spend time with you and that is into you. People get like, when people say like, let's just see where this goes, or casual dating, they get that mixed up, and you know, make it seem like it's a big thing and we're gonna be together or is going somewhere. Like, trust me, if a guy says that to you, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that he's just gonna be with you for a couple of days and then he's gonna let it die down a bit and then just, you know, put you in the trash bag and toss it out. I've been through this, my friends have been through this, everyone has been through this. It's a normal thing. It's not that deep. There's plenty of fish in the sea, but it is a big sign that he's just not into you if he says that, you know, if he says we're casually dating. And if you end up meeting someone, like his friend or whatever, and he says, yeah, we're just casually dating, sis, he's just basically saying to that person, this ain't my girl, like, we're just casually dating, it's not gonna go anywhere further than this. So that's a huge red flag, a huge sign that he's just not into you, and it's something that every girl needs to be looking at big eye for in the beginning of their dating stages, because you need to get out of the casual stage to know that he is yours, like, not forever, but just know that, you know, he's got you, like, you guys are like this. And number 10, saved best for last, a sign that he is not into you, sis, is if he just sleeps with you. Now that just states it. If he's just only with you for sexual attention, then that's all he wants from you. Now that's a heartbreaker, because that basically just shows you don't care for me, you don't want me as a potential, you just want me for my female parts. Now that is a huge red flag and a huge sign that he is just not into you. And if a guy gives you that straight away, you should be able to back off and walk away and go find someone else that wants you for you and actually is into you. You get it? Like, it's so basic, so obvious to notice. And obviously some people do have their friends with benefits and both, you know, partners are okay with it. But if you are dating someone and like you just only see them like indoors, in their bedroom, in the living room, it's either because they don't have any money to take you out to a nice place, or they just are not into you and they're basically just trying to get into the sack with you. So that's a huge thing to look out for if you're dating someone or getting to know someone, or even if you've been in like a 9, not even a 9 year, even if you're married, and you know, someone can be so good and then they can start changing and just might want you for your body parts and not potentially for you. So it could happen throughout anyone, but it's a huge sign that he is definitely not into you if he wants you for this and not for this. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy all of those 10 signs that he is just not into you. I hope you guys like this first video to the series that I'm starting. I just decided to do this video because I love watching these type of videos on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, I have some quite of knowledge in this kind of, you know, talk videos. So I said, why not let me just sit down and give you a couple of videos telling you my knowledge and my experiences and, you know, everything. And a little disclaimer, whatever I say in this video, please do not take it to heart, and please do not go in the comment box and start being a hater. Everything I'm saying, it might not be right, but it's just something that I've learned and it helped me. So either you watch this video and you take from it, or, you know, whatever. But I'm just gonna put it out there. Not everything I say is right, but it's just something that's helped me and I'm willing to pass it on to someone else. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thumbs up this video and let me know in the comment below what next topic you want to hear from me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.